everyone, it's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and I'm back today with an earlier than expected bargain bead box for September 2021. I'll leave the link right down below the video if you're interested in checking out the subscription, finding out more details about it. It's an awesome deal at $17.95 per month, and that includes shipping if you're in the US. And I also have a coupon code that is good off of your first month, and that code is Opal2, OPAL2. I'll leave that right down below the video also. Each and every month you get a bag full of glass and gemstone beads and coordinating findings, so you can make a lot of things just from one monthly subscription. Let's go ahead and dig into this. I can't wait to see what the theme is this month. All right, so we have everything in our bundle here. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. This is the list of everything that's included inside of that bundle. We're gonna have 21 different things to look at, which is amazing for a subscription of that cost. And here we find out our theme is called Ancient Icon. So it looks like we're gonna see a lot of spirals. We're going to see some carnelian gemstones, some agate. So it sounds like some earth tones, some copper findings, and it's been a little while since we've seen a earthier tone box. So I am really looking forward to getting into this. Here is a little sneak peek of the bundle of beads. So many things in here to take a look at. I'm going to get organized and we will go through everything one at a time. All right, we're going to get started with item number 1. This is a 16-inch strand of 4mm crystal bicone beads in Magma AB. So we have this nice long strand of very sparkly carnelian colored bicone beads with that beautiful burnt orange and the AB coating, which gives us that extra sparkle to these faceted glass beads. And this is a color that it looks like we're going to see a lot of this month. In bag number 2, we have a 16-inch strand of 4x3mm crystal rondelle beads. These are in sea green shimmer. So another long strand of glass beads, these in the rondelle shape. They have that little bit of shimmer, as you can see as I move them under the light slightly, over top of the sea foam green color. And I love that color choice to use along with the burnt orange. Sea greens and turquoises, those paired with burnt orange, really look good together. We're bringing in some of our metal here, the antique copper. In bag number 3, there's 1 meter of 5.5 by 3.5 millimeter steel Figaro jewelry chain. So nearly 3 feet of chain. Look at those open links. This is going to coordinate with the rest of our findings for the month, and I am always happy to have more chain. Next up in bag number 4, we have a focal for sure. This is a 46mm spiral pendant. It's made of a pewter alloy with antique copper finish. It's also nickel free. These details are noted on the list of everything that's included, which I think is really helpful. And here is that focal. You can see that spiral shape in this antique copper, and it's also a little bit wavy if you look at the edges, so that's really interesting. You get that sense of movement in this substantial piece, and there's also a loop at the back, so that's where you could attach your chain or your bead stringing wire, whatever you are doing to incorporate this pendant into your beadwork. And then in bag number 5, we have 5 pieces of 10mm half matte crystal chevron round beads in Magma AB. So there we go with the burnt orange again, matching our bicones that we saw in the beginning. These have that etched detail where some of the bead is a little bit frosty, some is more glossy and smooth. You can see that chevron pattern, also kind of a swirl pattern to go along with our theme. And then in bag number 6, we have a very handy item. There are 10 pieces of 15mm brass French hook ear wires. So we have enough here to make 5 pair of earrings, very helpful to have coordinating findings, and that's why I recommend this box to a wide group of people, including people who are newer to beading, because you get coordinating findings included with the beads, which really helps you to be able to make a lot of finished pieces straight from 1 month's package. Next up in bag number 7, we have a 7.5-inch strand of 6mm fiber optic glass cat's eye beads in light peach. This looks great with the burnt orange too, kind of a lighter tone that complements that shade very well. You can see the cat's eye beads have that really interesting play of light as you move them around under the light just a little bit, where part of the bead has that really interesting highlighted effect. And then next up in bag number 8, we have 2 pieces of 21 by 13mm spiral chandelier links. So we have more spirals and we have more antique copper to go along with the other findings. These are pretty simple. They are a 1 to 3 loop chandelier finding, and they are the same on both sides. Something you could use for earrings, a necklace, a pendant, even to make a multi-strand bracelet. And then in bag number 9, we have an 8-inch strand of 6mm crystal faceted pear beads in champagne shimmer. And these are seriously shimmery. They've not only got the crystal faceted aspect, but then an extra coating over the top, which gives these a sort of transparent, silvery, metallic aspect. And you can see these are slightly pear-shaped, the hole running through the center and just a little bit wider on one end than the other. And then bag number 10, this contains 7 pieces of 18 by 13.5mm spiral links / drops. Okay, very cool. So I see what they mean by that. That center section is actually open. So if you wanted to, you could use that as a link. You could attach wire to that point if you wanted to, or you could use these more like a charm or a drop. You can see that spiral design once again that we're seeing pop up this month, and they are the same on both the front and the back. Next up in bag number 11, so we are just getting to about the halfway point of this box and have already seen quite a few things for the very low cost of the subscription. This bag contains 10 pieces of 12 by 8mm spiral drops. These are really sweet, that smaller size, so they're similar to what we just saw, but these are almost half the size, and they don't have that opening in the center. They just have a loop there at the top, and they definitely complement our monthly theme. We have some more findings in bag number 12. This contains 7 pieces of 11.5mm spiral beads. So these are a great addition as well. These are the same on both sides. A hole that runs through the center of the bead. You can see how it bumps out a little bit in the center where the hole is and flattens out on either side. And that kind of reminds me too of the wavy movement of that large focal pendant that we saw. So you can definitely see what I mean when saying you can make a lot of things from one box, because even the findings coordinate not just in color, but in the overall scheme too. Then in bag number 13, we have 2 pieces of 23 by 34mm half spiral drop pendants. And here we have a look at these. These are kind of a fan shape. You can embellish these with wire, additional beads, or you can leave them as is. They're very geometric looking. You could use them as a pendant on their own, or if you wanted to use them as a component in an earring, you could do that. There's a look at the loop that these have at the top. That's where you could attach your other beadwork to that. These are slightly darker in this inside portion, and they get a little bit lighter around the edges. Then next up we have bag number 14, 3 sets of 17 by 22mm swirl pattern toggle clasps. So 3 whole sets again going along with our swirly theme, the same on both sides there of the loops. You have the option of using these as connectors as well or as toggle clasps, and you can see they're very generous with their quantities too. Bargain Bead Box not only sends a lot of different items, but all 21 of the bags contain a good value. So 3 sets there. So again, using those in multiple pieces is definitely an option. We have another focal, looks like in bag number 15, says approximately 30 millimeter carnelian teardrop pendant. Isn't that gorgeous? The light's passing through that, where you can see the subtle changes and depth that this has, even though overall it's pretty much the same burnt orange color. It's got the hole there that's drilled at the top that you have the option to use, and then it's flat on the back, very smooth and glossy and in great shape. So another focal that we have to play around with. I love building pieces around these focals like I've shared before. And generally that's where I start when I am working with the Bargain Bead Box. I'll start with one of the focals that they sent, which is usually a gemstone or metallic component, and start to build something around that. Last month I shared a right angle weave seed bead bezel on that magenta colored agate that they sent, and a lot of you had requested the tutorial for that, which I'm grateful for. And I think I will try to come back and do that right angle weave around this. So stay tuned for that. And I think in particular, like accenting this with some bright turquoise would really make this pop. But stay tuned, we'll see what happens with this piece. Next up in bag number 16, here is some turquoise. This is a 15-inch strand of these 6x4 millimeter faux turquoise rondelle beads. So these are man-made, but they're not plastic or acrylic, and you get a lot to work with. They certainly do imitate the look of turquoise stones very, very well, not only in the color, but also the details that they have with that little dark veining that goes through the beads. Most of them being that rondelle shape, and then we have an oddball there in the middle, so I don't know if everybody's has that or if that's just a one-off. We'll call it a special strand that I happen to receive, but this is the color that I was thinking of to go around that carnelian pendant. I'm going to look and see if I have some seed beads that are about that color to incorporate. That would really pop. Next, in bag number 17, we have some more beads. This is a 5-piece strand of 10 millimeter die style agate round beads. So these are definitely very earthy. They play along with that ancient icon theme of this month's subscription with this particular style. Not only that, but also this spiral idea. You see how these beads have that ring around each center, which is really cool. They have kind of a frosted look in that area too, which is very interesting. I can't believe we still have more to look at. I mean, I can believe it because this is what you can expect from Bargain Bead Box, but at the same time, like there's already a lot here, and I already feel like the value is definitely there for the subscription. That's why it continues to be one of my favorites. And on top of that, you also get a coupon code each month you can use to their sister store. And it's a generous coupon. It's 30% off at Bead Box Bargains, which already has very good prices. It's an awesome perk of the subscription. And they also have a monthly contest where you can win $25 to their sister site at random if you submit pictures of any jewelry you've made from their monthly packages. I wanted to make sure I mentioned that before I forgot. But we have 4 more things to look at. We are on bag number 18, and this one contains 10 pieces of 12 millimeter handmade porcelain round beads in red orange shimmer. Oh, nice. I definitely see that shimmer, and that didn't really show up at first to me in the bag. I thought these would just be a regular, more burnt orange porcelain with the normal smooth and glossy finish, but these actually have an elevated lustery coating over the top, which is gorgeous and very eye-catching. So you can see these porcelain beads have that gorgeous earthy but kiln-fired look. There's some different tones going on there, and the holes are also slightly larger, which you often see in the porcelain beads. So perhaps incorporate some thinner cord, or you also have the option of putting these directly onto some thinner chain. All right, next in bag number 19, we have one piece of approximately 30 millimeter Xi style agate barrel bead focal. So another focal, this time being an agate. Look at the carved detail. So that's very interesting. Also going along with that theme, feels like you're digging out a artifact, a treasure from the earth, something from an ancient civilization. Goes along with that color scheme. Another focal too, which is what we can expect several focals to work around. So you can see that has a larger hole as well, and it's in great shape. Next, in bag number 20, we have a 15-inch strand of 8mm carnelian round beads. Oh my goodness. Aren't these gorgeous? Look how the light passes through them and you can see all the different tones of burnt orange, also some topaz shades, a little bit of brown, some white, all just a little bit different. Smooth, glossy 8mm round beads, also another size for us to work with, in addition to another material and a very long strand of gemstone beads to work with. And then finally, bag number 21, we have 30 pieces of 8mm 5-petal swirled bead caps. So a generous handful here of these coordinating bead caps with the swirl design, also kind of a floral motif with the 5 petals. Another way to incorporate that antique copper color into your jewelry and to be able to add extra metallic detail to your pieces, especially in combination with the other antique copper and colors this month. So once again, they've done an awesome job. Bargain Bead Box provides us these amazing values time and time again. The theme is different every single month, so it's a great way to build up your stash of all different colors and different stones, interesting focals, and if one month isn't as much of your cup of tea, just hold on for the next month or two because the themes are going to constantly rotate and bring you a different color palette. So I like that aspect too because a lot of us make things for other people and not everybody wants the same color choices and everybody's drawn to something different, and that's what makes life interesting. But I think they did an excellent job with this palette. I love the burnt orange with the seafoam and the turquoise. Like I said before, one of my favorite ways to pair the oranges and those warm neutrals is with colors like that. We've got all different sizes and textures in addition to that to work with, and a coordinating array of findings. So once again, if you want to give this subscription a try, you would get the next month's box, and you can use the coupon code OPAL2 to save $2 off your first month, making it only $15.95 to try out for that first month. And the link to the subscription and the coupon code will be located right down below the video. I am so grateful to have you here. You make it so much more fun for me to unbox every month because I get to do it with you. And if you enjoyed checking out the Bargain Bead Box with me, and if this video is helpful for you, definitely hit that big thumbs up button. Definitely subscribe while you're here. I'll be back with finished pieces from this selection of items in the future, as well as at least one possible tutorial, and I'd love to have you back. Also, feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this month's selection or anything else you'd like to say. I'll be back again real soon, but until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, happy beading.